Today is my insulin pump management day, which consists of doing it every 3 days. Right here, I have my alcohol pads, my quick set, my reservoir, my vial of insulin, and my pump. What happens is my insulin pump lets me know when I no longer have any more insulin left in my pump. What I'm going to do now is unscrew the reservoir out of my insulin pump, which is connecting to the tubing. Now what I will do is go to my settings and go to reservoir and tubing, which I will start a new reservoir. I press rewind. Which takes about a couple seconds. It beeps once it's done. The next step it will ask you to do is fill your reservoir, which we will do shortly. On to the step of filling the reservoir up with the insulin, and what that looks like is me wiping the top of my insulin vial container in a circular motion for at least up to 15 seconds. Now, people may do it differently. This is how I was taught. Okay, now that that is done, the next step will look like me taking the syringe part of my reservoir and drawing it back to the 3 mark. Now I will connect it to the top of my insulin vial. It clicks on as you're doing it. And now what I do is I fill my insulin vial with the air. Now I turn it around, and basically what it does is fills up on its own. I fill it to the 3 mark. Sometimes I do have to draw it back a little bit to complete it. Once the reservoir is filled with the insulin, you can now untwist and disconnect your insulin. Now what I do is unscrew the bottom of the syringe and pop off the top to disconnect the insulin valve. Now that that part is completed, I'm going to take the tubing from the quick set and connect it to the top of the reservoir until it clicks into place. That part is done. I'm going to go to my settings again and go into loaded reservoir. It's going to ask me to fill my reservoir up. And what I'm going to do is put the tube in with the reservoir into my pump until it clicks into place. And now I'm going to press next. what you're going to do is press load until you hear a beep. It will prompt you to hit next. And the following step, what you are going to do is basically test your insulin to make sure that your tubes, there's nothing wrong with it. It's no holes, no punctures, no. Basically, it runs smoothly. Basically, you're going to press on fill until you see insulin start dripping out from the needle part of the tubing. Once you see the liquid, you stop and continue on to the next step.